meetings because I know Ann has some really good questions, but we should clear this out of the way because I know people want to know this and they're probably going to get in our chat here and ask this question, but are you hearing, first of all, are you hearing anything different? Is it September as usual? Obviously that's not September as usual, but September, or what we're kind of hearing, and maybe you'll hear this on your Big Ten calls, is Big Ten schedule only starting in January.
I mean, I think all those scenarios are kind of being thrown around a little bit. I do think what people do now will affect when we get back to play and if we get back to school in September. And that's why I say all the time, our numbers are going down in New Jersey. Let's just keep being smart about this and attack it the right way. But, all those scenarios are on the table. I think, as you know, Goody, football, really important.
Yes.
And I really look at the NBA and the NFL and the Major League Baseball. I think they're going to be the beacon here if we can get back to playing.
Yep.
I always think, as the NBA season got canceled, college basketball season soon got canceled afterwards. I don't think if they took that step, I don't think we would have, probably taken that step. So I watch the Major League teams a lot and how they're handling the crisis. And I think that's a good, guide to follow for us. But, I want to get guys back when it's safe. As you know, we're all about the kids' safety and student athletes and people, I want to have the rack jumping again, just like you guys. I love wrestling. Like I love these other sports that, that I don't, see often. And I love watching you guys work out and the fan supported, it's awesome. And how about Big Ten wrestling too? Like people, I didn't know, Coach, I didn't know before I got here from Stony Brook. I mean, the fan bases, I sat in the stands. I hear the comments. These people are into it.
They're into it. They're into it. We're going to
basketball game.
Yeah, and we've kind of built it, that too, which has been nice, and the crowd and the following and student sections and all that stuff. So
we're going to get into the rack for sure. We're going to talk about the rack here in a little bit. And you want to start with where you're at?
Yeah, man. Talking about Stony Brook, you went there. You built something really special there, and part of the reason probably why you were hired at Rutgers is from that journey there. I was wondering more on realistic goal setting. I work a lot with kids, and some of the kids aren't ready to go be a state champ or a national champ yet, and they tell you they want to go do this, but I want to know a little bit about the beginning of these journeys that you go on as a coach. What are some of the first goals that you tell the team or the kids? Like, is it immediately get to the national tournament, or do you have more of a formula where you work your way up into that?
I think too, part of it's where you are with your program and where you are in your league. I think, every year you sit down with your team and obviously a goal in men's basketball is always to, play in the NCAA tournament. And everyone at the beginning of the year is 0-0. Like, everyone has that opportunity. What are the players going to do to sacrifice the most? How hard are they going to work? Usually dictates the end of your journey, and every season to me is always about a journey and, how you're going to fight through the obstacles. And that's why I think athletes learn how to fight through obstacles. And I think it helps them later on in life too. But, when I first took over the job, I was really about hiring a staff and then bringing some respect to, Rutgers men's basketball, having a program that could go on the floor and compete with people and have, respect. My goal, even from year one, was playing the NCAA tournament, because I think that's the goal of every coach, that plays, whether it's hard to achieve, it is always the journey. Some teams, it's a more realistic goal, than others. But that's always, been my goal. In our first year, we kind of had to play perfect basketball to even think about playing in postseason. As you get better with your talent, your guys get better and they work harder. You don't have to be as perfect to get to the NCAA tournament. And, our team this year, that was our goal. Was March Madness was 3-15-20. We had that on the wall when you spoke to us at the beginning of the season. That was our goal, selection Sunday that night. And my goal has always been my 3 shelves in my office: NCAA tournament, Final Four, and national championship. And you guys proved that you could do that. And it's a league that competes for national championships and plays in Final Fours. So that was the goal of Rutgers basketball, even when people thought that was, kind of crazy. It's not so crazy anymore. We're getting closer to those goals. And I think we're getting the kind of players that want to sacrifice and work hard enough to achieve that.